of us sometimes have moments of clarity when our knowledge, our intuition and our imagination come together to show us something that maybe we've always known but never seen so clearly. This video is about inviting those moments. V is for vision. As you may have noticed, when I want to explore a concept, I like to go back to its meaning, its dictionary definition, and its etymology. Going back to something's etymology is not a scientific way of finding out what it means, but it gives me a feel for a word and gives me inspiration. So, for vision, it comes from the Latin verb video, which means to see, and it has the same sort of feel as the exclamation, "Oh, I see." It has the same root as the words wisdom and wit, and it is often used for religious experiences. I grew up a Catholic with many stories about young women having visions of the Virgin Mary, and even as a child I was passionately interested in that kind of spiritual experience. Some people receive visions naturally. They just come to them and they are said to have the second sight, and they are naturally clairvoyant. Despite the word vision, these moments of clarity don't only come through the inner sense of sight. Some people hear messages or receive them through physical sensation and even smell. Clairvoyance has its sisters in clairaudience, clairsentience and clairsalience, and there are others as well. Most of us are not naturally gifted like that though, and we have to invite moments of clarity and vision in altered states of consciousness. If you hear the words altered consciousness, you might think of taking drugs to bring you into an altered state. And many indigenous cultures do use strong plant teachers like ayahuasca and peyote. I don't have any experience with those, but I have taken some more gentle local plants that can enhance our consciousness and support our meditations, like mugwort, for example. If you feel called to work with plants like that, it's a good idea to start off working with someone who knows about them and is familiar with them, so you know that you are safe. The most common and accessible way we all have to enter the unconscious or the other world is through dreams. You can ask a question before you go to sleep and see what answers come. You might have to repeat that a few times before you get an answer. The best way to train your mind to realize that dreams are important to you is by keeping a dream journal. That is often described as having a notebook by your bedside and start writing as soon as you are conscious enough. But that never seemed to work for me. I used to just take time to wake up and then write down my dreams. Meditation and visualization are other paths into the other world. We have practiced this a few times in these videos. Following a path to the other world that has been laid out for you is a safe and effective way to surface things that you have always known. Some people practice crying. The most well-known way is gazing into a crystal ball, but you can use any of the elements to find your visions. You can gaze into a bowl of water or into the fire in your hearth. You can trace the patterns on stones or the clouds in the sky and just let images arise spontaneously. Shamanic practitioners journey on the sound of their drum or rattle. The resonant sound of the drum is like a horse that can carry you speedily into the other world. These journeys are best taken with the help of a spirit guide who knows the way. I have great faith in the value of these practices of divination, because divination is what they are. They are a way of getting messages from the divine, from the world of spirit. Whenever I have journeyed into the other world, by whatever means, I have always come back with something of value for my own life, for my community, or for the wider world, and I try to apply it as best I can to my life in this world. Of course, there are mental images that are more purely imaginative rather than prophetic, or more of an illusion than a revelation. So, how do you know the difference? The first rule is to travel with a trusted guide who knows the way in the other world and who can answer any questions when things are unclear and show you the way when the road seems blocked. Secondly, use your common sense. When something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Trust your own sense of what is and isn't helpful. Check the messages you receive to your own moral code as well. It's not because somebody from the other world has suggested something that it's practical in your life and in your world, and it's okay to negotiate an alternative that works for the both of you. And finally, you can check the messages you received against reality by acting as if something is true and then seeing where it leads you. If it works, it works. At the moment, it feels and looks as though our world is in a bigger mess than it's ever been in, and it's certainly valid to journey to the other world to find a vision of how we can cope with all this uncertainty and even to find ways to bring some healing. I would encourage you to make your own journey into the other world to find a vision for the future of our planet and share it with your communities. That way, we can sow some seeds of hope for the future. Have you had visions or moments of clarity that were meaningful to you? How do you come by those visions? Do you have special dreams or do you set out on shamanic journeys? Please let me know in the comments below. Click like if you enjoyed watching this video and subscribe for the last few installments of the Alphabet Superset of Druidry. Thank you very much for watching and for your openness to vision, and I'll meet you in the next one, which is the W for wisdom.